Hello there everyone, welcome back to Ants Authority. Today we will discuss about the topic how can ants prevent flooding. In this video we will discuss about this topic in detail, so let's start the video. Ants can prevent flooding by forming floating rafts, drinking rainwater, closing breathing pores, collecting twigs and soil around colonies, blocking entry holes with stones, moving to safe places or deep into tunnels, building dome-shaped nests and building underground air chambers. Light rains do not interfere in the ants' nest, as these make the soil slightly wet, but heavy rains can lead to flooding of their nest and destruction of chambers. One of the most prominent defensive strategies against flooding is the formation of floating rafts, commonly observed in fire ants. Collective colonying efforts can form a raft when hundreds or thousands of these insects get tightly attached to each other to increase the overall mass and surface area. Every ant grabs the leg of another fellow and makes a large pile, where each member remains connected to more than one insect at one time and builds a living raft. Accordingly, they can remain floating for many days and keep walking on the rainwater surface. These rafts are formed by workers that usually grasp queens and keep them in the center. Furthermore, this raft-like structure disintegrates when they escape floods or reaches a dry place. This type of behavior is found in fire ants, while other species follow different strategies. Ants have spiracles or breathing pores on the bodies, allowing oxygen exchange between atmospheric air and their body tissues. These spiracles are connected to tracheal tubes, which transport oxygen to body tissues and bath internal cells with oxygen for metabolism. Moreover, these insects can keep oxygen stored within the tubes to survive in conditions when there is no availability of oxygen to them. Accordingly, these insects close their breathing pores quickly when there are flooding conditions and rely on stored oxygen. It helps avoid water entry into their bodies and helps them survive. Some species of ants build walls around their nest, protecting their mounds from flooding and keeping water away from their nest. They collect plant twigs and make a pile around their mound for added protection because it is challenging to collect bigger rocks or heavy stones to make hard walls. However, these twigs strengthen their underground homes and restrict flowing water to some extent. In the same way, they build a barrier by collecting soil and making piles around the nest. Collecting the soil particles and building walls around the mounds takes a lot of effort. This is because the rainwater seeps through piles of soil and keeps flooding water away from their nest. Every mound has one hole that is used as a route for the entry and exit of ants when they have to go foraging and bring food particles back to the nest. This entryway can also provide a route to water and causes flooding of nest during heavy rains. Accordingly, these insects stuff stones in this hole to block the route for water runoff. This entry point is usually close to the top of the ant hill that gets covered with water. Blocking the hole with stones works well to control water flow inside tunnels. Furthermore, many colonies have soldier ants with bigger heads that protect the nest and nest members. So they block entry holes using their bigger heads, intending to protect a colony from flooding and avoid the risk of being drowned in rainwater. Ants build nests with a unique design and internal structure, allowing them to resist damage against flooding. They build a dome-shaped anthill that allows water to run off on the ground. The rainwater falls directly on the top of their nest and runs down towards the ground surface. The cone shape of their mound repels water away and keeps them dry until it gets covered with water. These insects are smart enough to build internal drains, providing a passage to water to flow out, which can help protect them in heavy rains and avoid flooding of nest. The rainwater moves out of the drain holes without causing much disturbance in the other living chambers filled with larvae, pupae, queen and male ants. Moreover, they use a mixture of sand and soil to build their nest, adding extra strength to their nest because they can absorb water and prevent flooding. Thanks for watching the video.